start. Hello, and welcome back to Bald Knob Stories. We're keeping Bald Knob out there. How are you doing?
We're good today.
Well, good. Here we go. Here's the Farm and Ranch report. Pork bellies are undulating at a frenzied pace. Strawberry prices are holding firm. Beaver muscalans are on the rise at $5.22 a gram and climbing. Still researching who the buyers are and what's being done with them.
You betcha.
Muscalans.
Blah.
Blah. The police report. Police Chief Joe Bob has asked us not to mention any ongoing police investigations, so we can't tell you about the impending raid on Marshall's Auto Shop and off-track betting parlor scheduled for Saturday night.
I saw some moving vans after our report last week, and they were on the west side. So I just want to remind whoever is moving to please keep away from the west side.
We should investigate that further and maybe next week have a report. We have a statement from our mayor concerning the water quality as well as a live video feed. Do we have the feed? There it is. Okay, good. Bo, our cameraman and roving reporter, is downtown on the camera. Bo, are you there? Ah, good. Here's a press release direct from the mayor's office. As of this time, we have solved the water contamination problem. All water is free of any undesirable contamination. So, all good.
I don't think so. I heard we had a specialist that needs to come in, and someone has been paying him to come and see about our situation. But it's all on the hush-hush.
Yeah, that water looks a tad dirty. Well, thank you both for your live camera feed. Remember, the mayor says, if it comes out brown, boil it around. Marlene, down at the bait shop, has decided to keep the ear and put it on display. She's charging $1.50 per person to see the ear. If you mention you've heard about it on Bald Knob Stories, she'll take half $1 off. Have you heard from Marlene concerning the ear?
We don't talk too much. I don't go for saving body parts.
Anyway, if you want to see the ear, stop by Marlene's. Mention you saw it on Bald Knob Stories and get half $1 off. Did she have some water for sale there?
Only half the shipment came in, and people were lined up around the corner. So she's checking on that, and it looks like, if it were me, I'd be heading to Marlene's.
Yeah, the water situation may be a problem. Stock up on water if you can. Let's see. We got a call from Joe Bob McDuffie. He had to fly to Kansas City without his service alligator, Rufus, despite the airline allowing Rufus on several previous flights. He bought the service animal vest on eBay and made modifications so it would fit Rufus. Do we have that picture of Rufus? Ah, there it is. Good.
What?
Rufus, the service alligator. He's a comfort alligator. You know, he flies and drives with Rufus just to calm him down because he's got that PSD stuff from working at the chicken plant. Anyway, the Braniff wouldn't let him fly with Rufus, so Rufus is waiting at the baggage claim for Billy Bob's sister, Maybelline, to go and fetch him. Maybelline's asking for anyone in Bald Knob with a pickup truck to give her a ride to Springfield Airport and help pick up Rufus.
Jack, if you're out there, Jack, don't do it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Anyway, if you have a pickup truck Stop by and pick up some red meat at Piggly Wiggly on the way. Rufus hasn't eaten all day. So, that's all the intro news. Anything you'd like to add?
All of this gives me pause.
Pause and reflect?
Well, just the state of the situation around here and our news. I guess we'll just have to wait and hear the rest of the story next week.
Oh, and our roving reporter, Mr. What is his name?
You mean Angus?
Angus, yeah. He's going to be reporting live from the Sherwood Forest Fair next weekend. We hope to get that up sometime next week. It's a small Renaissance fair in the middle of Texas. He's driving all the way out there. He's got a costume, and he'll be reporting from the fair, so we can see what kind of strange activities go on there.
I'm thinking about going with him or sending my friend Sarah.
Really? Well, that'd be great. Y'all could maybe carpool?
As long as he doesn't put us in the back of the truck.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's all for now. Stand by for a word from our sponsor, and we'll have the adventures of Fergus McFluffface and friends. I said that right this time. In just a moment. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you after the story.
Keep Bald Knob out there.
Keep Bald Knob out there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome to the further adventures of Fergus McFluffface, Fiona, and friends. Remember, they're underwater, and she's with a merman, and here we go. Fiona was speechless. So much had happened to her in such a short period of time. She looked back and forth to Fergus, and to Prince James, and to her new body. James smiled at her and handed her a small bottle of amber liquid. Here, drink this. It will calm you. There's so much more to do, and I have so much more to show you. Fergus smiled and nodded, indicating that she could trust the prince. Fiona drank the vial all down immediately, and felt the apprehension leaving her. I'm worried about my mom and dad. They'll be looking for me. It feels like I've been gone a very long time. In some ways yes, in some ways no. Come up to the laboratory and I'll show you. Fiona held Fergus's hand as they swam after James across the cavern and into a cave on the other side. They came to a set of stairs, and James started up. As he did, his flippers turned into legs, and he walked up like a normal man. Fiona and Fergus followed. There was a landing on top of the stairs, and James unlocked a large wooden door, much like that. Kind of like an old castle door. The room was massive, with bottles and beakers and TV screens, mixing bowls, and all sorts of typical laboratory devices, much like a mad scientist. I'll try to explain why your parents won't be missing you, James began. When you stepped into the water, back when I met you, you entered a new timeline or new dimension. Your parents and the world as you know it hasn't moved forward at all in time. I knew you'd have questions, so I had my two frog minions film you and film your parents as you entered the water. James switched on a large flat panel TV screen. There were two different video feeds on the screen, one on the path leading into the water, and one on Fiona's parents eating lunch on the blanket. These two videos are linked together, James says. Watch as we rewind. The images moved backwards, but nothing seemed to change. Jacob was feeding Mary a sandwich, but it looked like a still photograph. Then Fiona and Fergus walked backwards out of the water and back on steps. Fergus was getting smaller, back to their normal size, as the video progressed. They all watched the video until Fiona and little Fergus, or Teddy, backed out of the water and out of the frame. Jacob's arm was moving backwards now. He reached down and put the sandwich down in reverse. They talked for a while, and in a few seconds, Fiona walked backwards out of the woods and back into the clearing along the tree line. "Now, watch your parents as you enter the water," James said, as he hit the play button. Their conversation continued, but in the correct direction. Fiona and Teddy walked back down the path, and 20 seconds later reappeared on the other screen, heading for the steps. Jacob reached for the sandwich and held it up for Mary to take a bite. Just as she bit down, Fiona's feet touched the water, and they both froze. Fiona saw Prince James's head come out of the water, and she and Teddy entered the water. Teddy, Fergus, started growing. Jacob and Mary were back to the still photograph, frozen. "So you see," James said, "in their world nothing has changed since you came into the water." He walked over to the control panel on the wall, unhooked a microphone, and pressing a button on the mic, said, "Okay guys, you can come back now. Mission accomplished." The camera shook, the one focused on Mary, and Jacob bounced down off the car and hopped back down the rock path into the water. The other camera turned and looked up the path just in time to see the frog hopping toward it. When they were both together, they both hopped into the water, and the video feeds went dark. "So the frogs were your cameras," Fiona exclaimed. "I thought they were acting a bit odd." The three frogs hopped into the lab with all cameras on their heads. They all talked in unison. "Did it work? Did we do good? Can we take these things off our heads?" "Three frogs? I only saw 2 pictures," said Fiona. "I'm the backup frog," one of the frogs exclaimed. "If one camera went down, I was there to get the picture. I'm indispensable." They all looked alike to Fiona. "Perhaps you should tell her why she's here," Fergus said. Fiona wondered who was talking and then realized it was her old teddy bear. "Yes, I do believe it's time. Thank you, Fergus. Why don't we all come over to the library and sit down? There's lots to discuss," James said as he led them over to a sitting nook in the far corner of the laboratory. "Well, I'm sure you have questions," James began, as they got settled. "Way back before you were born, in the time we will call the spirit world, for lack of a better word, we all agreed to meet again around the time of your 5th birthday and begin our adventure." "Fergus too?" asked Fiona. "I was there with you then," Fergus replied. "We have been friends for centuries. I took this form so I could be with you as you were growing up, to watch over you and make sure you met with Prince James at the proper time." "So you're all in on this?" Fiona was getting a bit defensive. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Well," James continued, "you were very young, and still are very young. All we ask is you bear with us as we bring you up to speed. I'll be right back with something to refresh your memory." Fiona gently poked Fergus in the ribs. "He said, 'Bear with us,'" she giggled. James walked over to a bookcase filled with bottles and drawers, much like this one here. Lots of stuff to choose from. "How are y'all doing? You staying with me?" "Almost done." James returned with a tray with several small bottles and placed it on the coffee table. He took the largest one and poured 15 drops into a glass. "This will restore all your memories from all your past lives." He picked up another bottle containing a green liquid and dropped 5 drops in the same glass. "This will give you the wisdom and knowledge to work with the shinies." We'll tell you about the shinies later. They're very important to the story, but I don't want to spoil anything. Putting down that bottle and picking up a small silver bottle, he took out the dropper and put 1 drop into the mix. "This drop will give you the knowledge and customs of the dimensions that we are presently in." Fiona took the bottle with the 3 mixes and drank it all down in 1 gulp. Wow. Long story. Anyway, we will continue with the further adventures of Fergus McFluffface, Fiona, and friends next week. Now, a word from our sponsors. Bells on Coffins. Is your deceased really deceased? Make sure with Bells on Coffins. We offer the most advanced methods in undead sensing on the market. Make sure you know what your loved ones are up to after they're dead and beyond. And by Marlene's Fresh Dead Bait. We'll kill it as soon as you walk in the door. Ask about the 50% off viewing fee on the ear. And by Apron and Sash Pie House. We have the pie for you. Needs and wants. If you have anything to buy, sell, or trade, send us an email and we'll get it in the next broadcast. That's at cathouseproductions@gmail.com. Stop by our website, baldknobstories.com. We have no needs and wants. And, we have one advertiser that we just got in. We don't have a proper video for it, but we have a still picture. There it is. It's Sojusnaya Vodka. They sent us a free case of vodka and a little bit of money. So, here's their jingle. Sojusnaya, not the best that you can buy, but the best that you can drink when you're alone. If you're ever in a rut, put Sojusnaya in your gut, and you'll drink Sojusnaya all day long. Hey, hey, hey. Kind of catchy. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for coming by. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a nice comment. It was fun. We'll see you later. Keep Bald Knob out there.